The Nightbot goal is wrong, as always. Also, hello, chat. How are we doing? How is life, people? Today's pretty chill. We're just developing a mod today. Lost my voice today. I thought that was a myth. No, it's a real thing. People might exaggerate it, but you can generally lose your voice in a very real sense. Let's go to the main screen here. So, black screen, to be expected. Hello, by the way. Good, and how was your morning? It's good. It still is morning, technically, only for another hour or so. But, yeah, today we're doing some mod stuff. Modding is always caused my brain to hurt. So, you know, we'll try our best here. Watched GIGACHD story, it was amazing. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Hope it was entertaining. The way that we do this, by the way, is we literally just turn on display capture, right? So I'm just gonna just do that. Boom, the infinite thing. And here's the mod. Okay, for those that have been following this mod for a while now, you probably know where we're at. But in case you need a recap, we're making a mod following. Let me check my here mod scope. We're making a mod. I think we're not doing. We decided not to do Ottomans, but basically this is the current set of mechanics right here. This is what we're doing. So we've completed Dynasty Legacies. I would go over them, but it's like quite a few of them, so I don't want to go over them again. But basically, like, we're working on this middle step right now of forming the Gokturk Empire, what that entails. Then we're going to do a couple legends. I'm looking forward to completing this mod. We're pretty close, I think. I'm going to try to have it done this week, because I have a second stream later this week where we're going to try to finish the mod that day. I think we're going to just go for these last two steps. Then we're good to go. We were working last time on the Gokturk Empire founding decision, and we had a couple different ideas for what to do. I know this isn't written very nicely because it's not spaced out nicely, but basically we wanted to have an option to unite the Turkic languages. That would be a cool piece of flavor. We wanted to have a new culture, which kind of uses like some unique culture traditions to give it some flavor. And then we wanted to have a mechanic for converting other Turkic to this culture to kind of create like one unified Turkic culture, which I think I had in mind as being a CB. It's like you declare war, and it's like you like enforce your values on them or something. And then once you get enough of the steps culture converted, you can get a decision to give you so much of renown. So kind of your goal, once you form the Gokturks, is to like unite the languages, unite the Turkic people, and then you can get a bunch of renown and a dynasty modifier. We wanted to do China interactions. I wasn't sure about this one, so we're thinking about it, but we'll try to have some way you can marry like a Chinese princess, get some bombards from China, that kind of thing. And then we wanted to unlock raising runestones like the Vikings by looking at the Orkhan runes. We also had Tengri Reformation, but I'm not sure about this one. We might leave this one because you can already reform Tengris and do whatever you want it to be, right? Like with the base game mechanics, you can just have a unique Tengri yourself already. So what's really the point of that? So we might sort of ignore this one. But basically, the ones that I definitely want to do, these are like the confirmed mechanics that we're definitely going to try to implement at least today. Like I'm trying to get these done today if I can. So we're going to work on uniting the Turkic languages first. We were also looking at like valid ways to do the Turkic languages. Especially units like Janissaries, they're light horse units. Oh, the Sipahi. That's like the Ottoman stuff, right? So I think we already did a special Gokturk horse archer unit, but we're focusing on like not the more modern Turkic stuff, but the more steppe Turkic stuff. So probably not going to do Janissaries or anything. We could. I mean, we could always expand the mod later, but the scope is relatively focused on the sort of steppe nomad era of Turkic peoples. But anyway, this was the decision that we have for uniting the Turkic languages. You have to speak. You have to have a language. You have to be a culture that speaks one of the Turkic languages, and you have to know both languages. And then you have to have 100 counties that have cultures of those languages. Is the current thing. Plus, you have to have more than 20 learning. So it's kind of like just be a really, really good character, which makes sense to me. And the effect will probably just be to trigger like trigger an event, and then the event will just be flavor. So it's gonna be probably, let me see what the decision events are called. This was the settling, there's nomad stuff. It's fine. Did we have one for language? I don't think we did. This was the getting a raider, I think. Yeah. The get raider one. How am I doing? I'm good. I'm good. So we're gonna add a new event here. This is gonna be uniting the Turkic languages. Okay. Let's go back up here. I'm gonna copy my template from up here. This is pretty much what I always do. We'll modify it later, but so I just realized that these that should, no, that's right, that should be 2s, yeah, okay. I wanted to copy this actually. For the theme we'll probably do learning instead of realm, but same idea basically. I think one of the themes is learning. I think anyway. Change these to 4. Cool. And then the decision is just going to be flavor. The actual effect is going to be involved in the actual decision. Let's go trigger that event. That's just flavor. The actual effect, we're going to do a scripted effect. So let's do unite Turkic languages effect equals yes. And let's go define this effect. So if we, I think we already have scripted effects. Let me see. Yeah, we do. Okay, we have one already. This is what we did for the the raid intent, which actually ended up working. I was very impressed this ended up working. Pretty crazy. But anyway. Unite Turkic languages effect. So it's gonna be every culture. Okay? We're gonna have to do this kind of heavily. There should be in here every culture, right? There should be an effect for every culture. Every culture global. Yes, that's what we want. Yo, what's up, Hans? Every culture global. We want limits, right? We should be able to limit this, right? As cultural pillar. We should do or. It needs to be or. We want to pick only the cultures that use the languages, so Shaz, Turkic. I think it was, what was the name of the languages? I think I had them here, right? Yeah, Turkic, language underscore Turkic, language underscore over. And Late's trying to take your views of uploading while you're streaming. I can't believe it. Bro, just go watch this video and come back here when he's done. I'm going to be streaming for a couple hours. Unless this video is like 4 hours long, you're good. But yeah, so every culture in the game that has these languages. Should we do it? Does it have to have the heritage too? I don't think so. I think it's okay if it just has the languages. So then it's just, I think it's remove cultural pillar, right? That should be in effect. No, maybe not. We do cultural pillar. Do pillar? Set cultural pillar. Right, I think we have to just do this. We can overwrite. We don't have to remove and then add. Set cultural pillar. Okay, first we have to actually check what so root dot we have to set the dot culture this dot there. I'm trying to think, how do we I want to scope to the culture. I want to like scope to. I want to scope to the pillar that is the language on this. Or we could just do the native language of the ruler, because you have to have the culture, so you should be able to do Is an event target language? Can we do language? Native. I don't know what these are in here, to be honest. I don't actually know what all these things are down here. Event targets saved from code. I don't know what that is, but it's fine. Let's not worry about that. We can honestly, you know what we can do here? You know what we can do actually is here. Right, we can just do an if. Okay, I understand now. Here, this is the best way to do it. So if root.culture has culture. This is how we can do it. Do a limit. Sorry, limits. I always forget about putting the limit. Go. Then we can do this effect where it's going to set the cultural pillar to be Turkic. This will work. This should work. Set cultural pillar, and I don't think we need a block for that. That cultural pillar equals language Turkic, like that, and then we can have another if statement. We can have an else. I don't even need a limit for it. We can just then take every culture global and do the same thing, but set it for over instead. Because you can only take this decision if you speak one of these languages anyway, so it just works. There we go. I think that'll work how I want it to. What's your favorite CK3 mod? That's hard to say, but probably either After the End or Elder Kings. It's hard to say. I'm gonna go with like one of those though. Those are some pretty epic mods. We're letting CK3 Tiger check, but I didn't actually save the files before, so it might throw me some errors. This should have been the DLC. Yeah. They could have done more with the DLC, but I'm honestly happy with what they provided in the DLC. I think that they did a pretty good job. What am I today? I'm still a human. Have been for a long time. That hasn't changed. What's up, Stephen Parker? CK3 Tiger is such a good tool, dude. You can just like check your code. It's great. This makes everyone always. Yeah, that'd be weird if it did that. But it should just change the language on their culture is what it should do. Nice tune, thank you. I like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. How's the volume on it? Let me just see. Yeah, it's good. It's not too loud. Maybe a little bit lower. It's a loud song, so we can go a little bit lower. Okay, so we have some problems, but I mean that's fine. This decision probably is asking for something. It's up here actually. Right, this is because CK3 Tiger has been updated for the most recent patch. So CK3 Tiger doesn't know what herd is, but I know what herd is, so we're good. Don't worry about that. This is, yeah, missing an option. We'll fix that in a sec. That's just a flavor event. Again, CK3 Tiger doesn't know about governments. So that's why this is not working. Interesting. You expected a block? Why? Wait, I must have messed this up. This can't be right. What did I do wrong here? Did I do... Oh, let me, I must have copied this from somewhere in Notepad. Let me check an example. Oh, I forgot to do change title holder. Yeah, that's my bad. Oops. Pretty simple fix. Yeah, that's all I have to do for this. Oopsies. Yeah, I thought yeah, that made sense that wasn't right. Okay, good. Anything else in here? Good. This isn't defined because I think we haven't saved... Did I not make the traits yet? Yeah, this is because we haven't made the culture yet. That's okay, we'll get there. Oh, it's Gokturk Reviver. That's my bad. It's the wrong name. Yeah, it's Gokturk Reviver. Okay, there you go. That should work then. We'll create this culture soon. That will fix that. This doesn't have a picture. That makes sense. So yeah, these errors that's popping up are currently something that I understand. We have to define the effect localization. We'll do that too. Do that a bit later. That should be good. Let's rerun it now. Should have fixed some of those issues. Oh, we should do the option down here as well. This is just for flavor. There's not going to be anything here. What's up, Brian? Just flavor. Good. The actual effect happens in the decision. Good. Okay. There's no problems being thrown up here. That's good. That should work, right? So basically, if the root culture has Turkic language, everyone gets Turkic language. Unless, and then else, it gets Ogre, but this decision can only be activated if you speak a language that has one of these. So you're not going to end up with a weird thing where it has no option. I'm gonna go get some water real quick, by the way. I don't know why, I'm surprisingly thirsty. In a second. Okay. I feel confident about this. It's good. I feel very good. Now then, let's close most of these now. So at this point, we have the... That's another thing. That should be pretty much done. We just have to add the actual Gokturk culture real quick, because we had the... we have this whole stuff with Gokturk Reviver and like the founding of the Gokturk Empire. We need to actually create the culture now. So when you found the Empire, you get the event 0003, which is up here. And this doesn't give you the culture conversion right away. So I think we need to add a new decision that's going to be embracing the Gokturk culture. So let's do that. Now the question is, do you want to make this difficult or do you want to make this hard? Like in the sense that, should it be something which is relatively quick to do and you can do it almost after forming the empire right away? Or should it be more a thing that you have to kind of earn? Next to the follow, whoever that was. A bit hard because culture is hard. Yeah. Well, regardless, let's do the basic stuff. Let's do all these relatively simple things. Copy in this this template, then delete all of it. We'll keep this stuff because this is pretty much always what I want it to be. Get rid of the effect because we will fill in our own effects. Change the cost in a bit. Get rid of the valid. For is shown, I think pretty much the same thing. You have to have the Gokturk Empire and you have to be Turkic. That makes sense to me. We'll change the description real quick. We'll change the tooltip. Good. You can change the picture later. I don't want to change the illustrations right now. Okay. Let's do the effect first. So the effect should be an event, okay? Always an event for flavor, right? So you want to do an event. just make real quick. Copy all this in. Again, this is the same idea as literally just flavor, so we don't have to fill very much in. Good. Okay. Now we'll do another scripted event, a scripted trigger or scripted effect. I think we'll do. We give the Ashian Dynasty any flavor, except because our cognate Duchy of Don Valley. Probably not going to do any particular flavor for any particular characters. We're keeping it pretty simple on the scope. Let's do the effects. Alright. Well, immediately, let's save the root. Save scope. There's a block. We'll call this the Gokturk Culture Head. Makes sense. And let's maybe pick a couple. We can maybe pick a couple of vassals to kind of be like special. I was gonna say we can put them in like the event, but we'd probably do that in the event description instead of in here. Excuse me, sorry. I see I have a DM on Discord I want to check real quick, but I don't want to look at it. Oh no, it's just ModCon, okay. Put your vassals in a box and FedEx them to Chernobyl? Yeah, sure. That's actually something I wish I could do in CK3. Anyway. We probably should go make the culture first before we do the effects. So maybe we... This is the first part of the effect. We'll do the rest later. Let's make sure we mark this as incomplete so I don't forget. Go. Okay. Now let's go make the culture. I think this is going to be a fun part of the section here. I need to see... this is just stream stuff. I need to see what the base game's culture folders look like. Kings 3 game, so common, and then we have to go culture, which we already have. We have to do cultures. Okay, that checks out. Cultures, and then within there's also going to be traditions, if I understand correctly. Yes. Okay, that needs to be in this folder though. There you go. Okay, good. And then I don't think we're gonna add any pillars, because we're just using the base game languages, so we don't have to add any pillars or anything. We can do name lists, although I think we'll probably just go with... Maybe we'll add some cool, unique names. We can do a name list. Sure, okay. There already is a Turkic name list, so maybe we can just use those. Yeah, this is for the Turkish. Do a name list. Okay, we'll do that. In the past, whenever I do name lists, I'm not able to get them to work, and I don't know why. Name lists. What else? We don't need to do innovations. That's fine. Name equivalency is an interesting thing. Do you want to do stuff like that? This is for like when you have names that are the same across different cultures. I don't think we're gonna bother with any of that stuff. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's not get too complex in here, you know. What else? The rest is fine, I think. Yeah, so that's all we're gonna need. Let's go into cultures here. Let's add a file. We'll call this Turk culture.txt. We can look at an example in here to see how they're built. Let's look at a Turkic example. Because why not? Close a few things before I get overwhelmed with stuff. Okay. So we have to put the name of the culture, give it the color, then ethos, heritage, language, martial custom, Oh, then DLC traditions. This is, yeah, okay. We're not have to worry about this because we're not going to be dependent on DLC. And we give it a name list. Okay. For ethnicities, we probably just take the Turkic West. I think that's all we do. I don't think we do anything besides that. Let's copy this in. And we'll just change over. We'll just change everything over. So we'll call this Gokturk. Interesting how the comment here is like tabbed over. Color should not just be Turkish. You want it to be a different color. I think Gokturks should probably be something of a blue. So let's go like, because you can just do RGB colors. In case you don't realize, you can just do like. I think you can just do literally RGB colors. Yeah, you just do like this. See? We can do that. Let's do like a little bit of red. Let's do a lot of blue. And no green. That sounds good. Sure. That's fine. Relative, keeping it simple. And then everything else here... the only thing is... Alright, well, the language at a base will be Turkic. But then this will change by the decision. So if you remember the decision we have to combine the languages, this effect will affect this culture because it is part of the global list. So that this might change. It might change to ogre depending on how you do it. Martial custom male early makes sense to me. Head determination or score herd. I'm not sure what head determination actually is. Can we see a info file perhaps? What is head determination? Thank you, Paradox. It equals key. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. That's fine, though. Let's not worry about it. We'll just leave it as basic, then. I'm not sure what this means, so we'll keep it in there because it's part of the Turkic stuff. Then we have to pick the traditions. So let's get rid of this. And we'll make some traditions in a second here. So let's take all the Turkic name lists and just combine them. So let's take Turkic name list. Let's take the Pecheneg name list. Let's take the human name list. We're going to take all the Turkic ones and just combine them into one. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. So it's all the Turkic names. This is meant to be like the pan-Turkic culture, right? So, what we're sort of going for here. Not the Avars, though. Actually, no, the Avars, they should be fine. I would say it feels weird to have them in the list, but I think, because they're kind of like weirdly different, but it's okay. Good check. There's a lot of Turkic cultures, dude. Based. Aktan. Kyrgyz. And then Uyghur. Not sure. Uyghur, that's also Turkic, I guess. Uryankai is fine. Uvash. A lot of names. A lot of these are going to be the very same names. Chateau. Let's not take the Chateau, because they're... Well... Yeah, because they're Chinese speaking. Let's not take them. Let's not take the Ongud either, because they're like... you know, Mongolized. We could take the... We already have the Turkish name list, I think. These are the same name list as the Oghuz. So we have to worry about that. Okay, that's good. Big name list, but it's okay. Yeah, this is good. These are all good coat of arms. Step building, that's good. Turkic clothing, Mongol clothing, that's fine. Mongol units, that's good. Let's change this to 5 and also put regular Turkic for the ethnicity as well. So you can have Turkic West and just Turkic. Good. Now the traditions. So we're going to make our own list, but we'll probably put a couple of standard ones. So for example, devoted horsemanship probably can just be there. I don't think we have to put anything else. How do you change the form of address on a specific culture? Actually, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think it's part of the... I don't know what it would be part of. I was gonna say it might be one of these GFX ones, but I actually don't know. It might be part of their name list. We can look at a name list real quick. Could be part of that. Like if we look at on a Mongolic name list. Dynasty names. Yeah, I don't know actually how you do that. I couldn't tell you. We're gonna take devoted horsemanship. Relatively basic one. What other basic ones? Probably like pastoralists. Let's check for that. Yeah. So those two for sure. That feels like you have to have those. And I think beyond that, I mean, those are kind of the two base game ones we're going to want to have. But we should make our own unique ones. Maybe step tolerance? Maybe. Talent acquisition is fun. Could do mountain homes. What's up, Flavio? Sacred hunts? Was hunting that important to Gokturks? I don't know. We should do a custom one for hunting, though. We should. I think that these two are the base game ones that we'll take, so that it feels kind of rooted in the base game. And then let's do 2 more custom ones, and we can do. So let's think about what we want to do for custom cultures. We can figure that out. Let's do like custom cultural traditions for Gokturks. Okay. 2 custom, 2 base game. So base was pastoralists, devoted horsemanship. Just relatively basic, like yeah, these are chill. Custom. So I want one for hunting, sort of like OP version of ritual slash famed hunters, whatever it was called. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Like basically a combination of the piety hunters and the prestige hunters. I think it's prolific hunters is what it is. Right, that's the one I think. And let's do one for... Yeah, not ruling caste. I don't know about ruling caste. I feel like that's too... I don't like ruling caste. It's too basic. I don't know. It's not cool. It's got to be something cool. Celestial Riders get special men-at-arms. We already have a special MAA via the Dynasty Legacy, so I don't want to do another special MAA. Although we could do another one. It's not too hard to set up, to be honest. Celestial Riders is at least a cool name. I do like it. We could do another raiding intent with Celestial Riders. That's an idea. One for raiding. MAA. I like the name. The name is getting me, but I don't know about the actual mechanic. What about one to interact with tributaries? Like a tributary-oriented culture tradition? There's not really anything like that in the game right now, is there? Right? Let me check if there's a modifier that's easy to do for tributary payments. I type in your tributary. Fellow tributary opinion. Tributary opinion of tributary. Tributary tax malt. Yes, okay. This exists. This makes it easy if you want to do a tributary effect. Is we could just make it so tributaries are more effective. I like that a lot, actually. Tying into that. So I think we're gonna do that. Okay, we can do 3. We can do 3. Okay, I kind of like the rating one. A perk and Diplo only, I think. Yeah, but we can add it to a culture tradition, right? Let's do 1 for tributaries. And that's gonna be the... that's gonna be this tributary tax malt. That, I think, is gonna be very fitting. That makes tributaries happier. Tributary tax malts and opinion. We can do both. Sounds good. And we can maybe add a special decision to it or something. We'll iron out the details soon. We'll do 3 custom then. That gives you 5 base. That gives you 5 starting culture traditions, which makes sense in case you do it in the tribal era. The reason why you're kind of limited to 5 is because what if you found the culture, like what if you create it or whatever, when you are in the tribal era. If you have 6 traditions, then you're going to be 6 of 5, and that's okay. The game lets you go over the limit if you have if you just list more than 5 culture traditions at the start of the game. You'll keep more than the 5. You can even go above 8. You can go like 12 out of 8 if you want to, but then you just have to, like, it just looks weird on the UI. I'm gonna go to the washroom while we think about how we want to do this. If you guys get any ideas for culture traditions, feel free to put it in the chat. Be back in a second. I'm back. More advantage in combat. Better scouting abilities. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Advantage in combat feels a little bit lame, so I don't know about that. Maybe we could try to do advantage while raiding, but I think that might be very complicated to implement because it's not like an already existing modifier. Let's see. Same heritage county advantage could be pretty nice, actually. We could do this. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe we could honestly go with same heritage county, so you fight better in Turkic counties. That sounds pretty good, actually. I think I'd like that. So let's, we'll maybe implement that. But for now, I think for the rating one, like, let's make this maybe, I think let's make this about MAA. / combat bonuses. But it's not, we already have flavor for rating, so let's not do another rating thing, right? Let's start making the culture now. Let's start making the culture traditions. Let's give them names first of all. So let's do tradition _ GK hunters. That's just for the hunting one. Tradition GK. Let's do celestial riders. I really like the name, so we're gonna steal that from Eduardo. And let's do tradition _ GK _ tributaries. Like that. These would be the names of them. Now let's go make these. So let's open up traditions. Let's make a new text file. Let's check first of all the name, the way that it's the nomenclature of the naming. So we can, okay, so they're based on, yeah, the categories they belong to. So we're going to call this then gk _ traditions.txt. And let's copy in an example. So let's check out a combat tradition. Right, yeah, I've been in here before. Definitely. Let's take in something like, something a little bit simpler than this. It has a lot of different like names it can have. See, this is all the AI stuff, right? So most of this is the AI choosing to pick it. If you look, and I guess also the cost as well, because the cost can be changed by certain conditions. But let's maybe not, we don't have to do all that complexity. We'll take Warriors of the Dry or whatever. We'll just copy this in and we'll delete most of its parameters and then go from there. Rid of this. Good. And now let's get rid of like most of this stuff. Good. Parameters, get rid of, empty all this out. This is just so that we have like all the like everything that we might want to add. For cost, we're going to keep it pretty much just the base, because I don't really want to even bother implementing like different costs, because I just like whatever. You're not going to be bothering to actually implement this culture tradition outside of getting it through this decision. It looks like we don't have enough brackets. It looks like we are definitely missing some brackets. Like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, that should be good. So now we have like basically an empty culture tradition. What these layers term, by the way, so the 0 is the background, so whether or not it's like red or purple or like it's... I should probably open CK3 and maybe show it to you. I can show you like kind of the way this works, but this determines the color in the background. Number 1 determines kind of like the shape of the lines on it. So like if we look at some examples, type 1, we're able to find, no, this is the here. This is going to give me a lot of stuff, but so like there's Western, there's Mina, there's a couple different options for like the sort of like pattern on the culture tradition. We'll probably just keep it to Mina unless there's ones for nomads. Let me see if there's ones for... Yeah, they use Mediterranean, for example. They use Mina. They mostly use Mina and Mediterranean, so we'll probably keep it to Mina as well. We can probably close this at this point. Yeah. They mentioned the Ashina clan. We might mention it in flavor, but we're not really gonna focus on particularly that one clan. And 4 is the symbol that shows up. So you can find the symbols if you go into GFX and then interface. I think it'll be in illustrations, or no, it'll be in icons. And then there should be one for culture. The culture traditions, and these, yeah, see here it is, you can see them, yeah. These are the, this is what you get. We can look at everything here. These are the patterns. Okay. Sure. Alright, well, either way. Let's look at the item. This is the little symbols that go on top. So what symbol do you want for hunters? Probably the bow. Now we could use the hunting one that's used for hunters normally, the actual hunter guy. But I want it to look a little more unique, and the bow one is not that common. But at the same time, the hunter is probably a better way to express it, to be fair. We're going to use base game stuff because, quite frankly, I don't know how to do art. So we're just going to do base game stuff. Sorry, is what it is. I guess we can just do hunter.dds. But we'll use a martial background. Okay. That sounds good. So for is shown, we don't want this to ever show up. You should only be able to obtain it by actually like becoming Gokturk, right? But we also want it to be able to show up if you like have the tradition. So a good example of how to do that will be with mystical ancestors. So let's go and find that real quick. Mystical ancestors only shows up if you actually already have it. And I believe it's a, what is it? Is it a realm tradition? Is it ritual? I think it might be ritual. There it is, yeah. Do you see this? Any parent culture above has the tradition. This is how you can make it show. We're just going to copy this wholesale, more or less. So we're going to take that in here, put this in here. This means that it'll only show if one of the parent cultures has the tradition. So whenever you make a hybrid or a divergence, you can keep it, but you can't pick it unless you are Gokturk, essentially. We're going to do the same thing for can pick. We'll probably change what the tooltip actually says. We're going to do the same thing. And we'll change the text to be any ancestor underscore Gokturk tooltip. Great. That should work out. We can define that tooltip later. Now we get to the actual. So this is basically determining whether or not you can pick it, and yeah, but this is how we're gonna do it for all of the Gokturk traditions. Now we get to parameters. Parameters is kind of like special things. It's like, what do you call it? It's like getting MAA. It's getting new mechanics and stuff. So if we look at our notes, I don't think we really necessarily need these. I think we want to just take most of what you get from. We want to take most of what you get from the regular hunting traditions and just kind of implement it into this. So, take one of them. We can look at ritual. We can look at like hunters. Sacred hunts. So let's turn on sacred hunts and make things more pious. Let's do that. And let's also take the regular, I think it's a realm tradition. No, maybe it's a society tradition. Yeah, hunters. They're this one. More frequent hunts. Maybe provide more common. That's good. Okay, we'll take these parameters. This is combining the effects of the sacred hunts and the prolific hunters. It's cool. Communism in Victoria 3 is actually quite weak. People just don't know how to play the game. Capitalism is much more powerful in Victoria 3 than communism. It just might not look that way, because communism is kind of like a shortcut to standard of living in Victoria 3. Whereas in, if you want to actually get the most possible standard of living, you're probably better off being a capitalist than just, like, making the best possible market. But, you know, Victoria 3, who cares? We're playing CK3, or not even playing it, but, you know, we're chilling. So those look good. Those are just base game things. We're just combining those. I think if there's any other parameters you might want to do, but I think that's fine. Maybe we want to just do character modifiers now. So these traditions, what do they have themselves? They just have like travel speed. That's fine. Close this. Let's close some of these. We can close this now. This. Okay, just make sure I don't get overwhelmed with stuff. Easy to get lost. Let's maybe do a little bit of health on this. I know it's a little bit OP maybe, but let's not have to do a huge health advantage. Just a little bit of health. Let's do like 0.5. That should be a small health boost, I think. Small health boost from that. And we can do some prowess. What else? It's a very funny reason to not want to play a game, Erfreudig. Enjoy your boycott though. Prowess injury resist. Okay, it feels a little bit like extra, but I guess so. I think that's a let me check what that's exactly called. I think it's literally just called prowess injury resistance, but yeah. Oh no, sorry, it's negate prowess injury prowess penalty add. You can negate, let's say 4. Okay. So a bit of health, bit of prowess. Maybe like I think that's good, maybe. Renown boost? That's too much. I don't want to do a renown boost. It doesn't feel appropriate for the tradition per se. I think a bit of health and a bit of prowess is nice. I think that fits the hunting idea. For province modifiers, we could just do like fertility, just a base fertility bonus. Let's see if we can do that. County fertility growth malt. Yeah, I think fertility is good just for provinces. Something nice, like something like 33, like a big 33% bonus. Sounds pretty good. And that's all it has to be. There's not to be more than that. I think let's not overcomplicate this, right? Also, we should probably change this off of mystical ancestors to this and this. Sorry, oops. Just realized we should do that. There you go. I think that's good. And that's all we really have to do. There's not really a way. Is there a way that we can make every single province that is this culture have increased hunting success? I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah, I don't think there's an easy way to do that. There probably would be a way, but it would be really complicated. It would involve us having to edit the actual hunt activity itself, which I don't want to do. Let's keep it simple. So AI will do I think we're just gonna give this like a base value and just leave it at that, because I don't really want to. Let's just give it a value of 100 and call it there, because it's very unlikely that the AI will ever achieve getting this particular tradition. But how they could get it is if you as the player form Gokturk culture, and then your AI vassals like diverge the culture. That could be it. Bro, what are you saying? What's wrong with Metal Gear Solid 2 music? If you add realm category tradition? Well, this, funnily enough, probably should be realm. This actually shouldn't really be combat. Or I guess they're all going to be regional, aren't they? Regional is probably good, right? Because these are all just regional, like, traditions. In terms of how they should be classified. Right? So I think they're all just, like, basically unique. Makes sense to me. In terms of an actual like realm category though, the tributary one is kind of like our realm category, you know? I think that's kind of like the realm one. Hunting is kind of like social, I guess you could say. The MAA and comp bonus one that we make is definitely going to be the martial one. This is the realm one. Bot going off again. Yeah, anytime that you ping the bot, he'll say something. It's really cute. Yeah, Mayor Freudig is definitely a rage bait kind of guy. He's one of those like hidden fascists, but we tolerate him in the chat though, because one viewer is one viewer. Anyway. Hunters is good. Cody growth is good. We'll just have the base cost. I'm not gonna, because you're not gonna be reforming this ever. So it doesn't matter what we put the base cost. X. Remember, you can only get it if you're diverging or hybridizing, basically. So you're not really gonna be ever taking it. It's fine. Like, it's very unlikely the AI is ever gonna diverge this. Mobs remove his molars, dude. So true. Hidden fashion, was that even mean? You know what it means. You don't. We don't have to play. We don't have to play these games. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, 6% dev in the steps. I think in the steps they have -3% dev. Ooh, I kind of like that. That's actually a pretty good idea. Do the county modifier for that. I kind of like that idea, actually. Just making the steps a more developable place. Because to be fair, when you do this, you might choose to take, like the change off nomadic, right? So maybe you want development. A good idea. Geographical region development growth. We could do it on a geographical region. That's interesting. We could do it on the whole steps. Let's do it on the terrain though. Let's do terrain instead of the region. So the terrain type development growth. So I believe the steps in the game files are just called steps. I think. Yeah. Step underscore development growth. Let's do like a 0.75. So quite a hefty bonus. It should does it have to be for the malt? Yeah, it should be growth factor. Okay, hold on. It should, yeah, otherwise we're gonna get a shit ton. Growth factor, 75% growth factor. That makes sense. Okay. This is quite OP. It's meant to be, though. It's meant to be really strong. For the steps, particularly. Remember, this is just for the steps, and this is just for, like, fertility. So if you're a nomad, it's really good, and if you're in the steps, it's really good. But that's okay. I think that being able to develop the steps should be a cool goal that you get to have, right? It's like, yeah, now that you've created the Gokturks, you get to have your reward, right? And I think it's appropriate to have this. Even if it's OP. Even if it's a little bit OP. OP is fine. Let's do the MAA one. So we'll call it Tradition. What did I name it? I think I gave it a name over here, didn't I? Let's put it. I think I had the name for it. Celestial Riders. There you go. So let's again just copy all of this in. Good. I'll keep all this basically the same. Again, for the is shown, we're just gonna make it so you only take this if your previous culture had it. We'll keep the same tooltip. That's fine. And we can get rid of the parameters. Get rid of the modifiers. Get rid of the province modifiers. Anti-modifiers. Okay. The rest of this is fine. We can change these. So let's pick a new symbol. For Celestial Riders, you probably can do like the Iron Cavalry one, maybe. Let's see. The Ashina Tamga COA. So that's what you're doing tomorrow. We're not really particularly referencing the Ashina in any way. It's a cool idea to like tie it into actual dynasties, but you know. Anyway, icons. Culture tradition. Okay, what do you want to pick for this? So if we're doing Celestial Riders, you probably, honestly, maybe we actually pick the Wolves of the Deep Steppe one. That feels kind of appropriate, because we're going for something that's pretty based, right? Also, I think we're just gonna get rid of this chatter. I don't like this chatter anymore. Oh, I see. You didn't even, yeah, there you go. We're just gonna, it didn't even show up. It didn't even get to show up. But yeah, just see you later, buddy. You don't want that guy around anymore. He's annoying. We no longer give in to the rage bait chat. We just get rid of people we don't like. That's the new way we do things. Wolves of the Deep Steppe could look pretty nice. It's a nice picture, right? Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Then to horny Joe, pretty much. You guys couldn't see it because YouTube's auto moderation caught it, but but he said something that was kind of like rude. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get rid of him. Yes, thank you. Also the deep step, Marshall. We can keep Mina, I guess, because it's all gonna be Mina. Fine. There's a parameters we can unlock a new MAA. So unlock score Celestial Riders MAA. Now, if we want to get really crazy, we could make like a wolf riding unit, but that's obviously not actually realistic at all. That's obviously completely unrealistic, so we won't do that. But we can at least unlock something we'll call Celestial Riders. What else do you want to get? We could just get the relatively basic ones from... So if we look at the other cultures... There's like relatively basic ones for the martial traditions. Like, you can just get like extra knight stuff. It gets... like Blade Master trait bonuses and stuff like that. Prowess from martial education. Anachronistic fire lance. You really want the fire lances, don't you? You really want those. You've brought those up a lot. I don't really want to. It feels like it's more Chinese thing than Turkish thing. Pursuit bonus, that would make sense. I kind of like putting high prowess ignores night restrictions. Warriors, like the Warriors by merit mechanic, that feels kind of nice. Like that idea. Is that a second another account? I mean, at least YouTube's not letting it go through. That's fine. Let's ignore it then. YouTube's not letting it go through, then who cares? That's funny though. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for the parameters. Yeah, okay. Something else you might want. Maybe the Better Knights one, but nah, it's okay. The Better Knights one is maybe overkill. But we can take it. Okay. Okay, he's not okay with chat. That's good. Nice. The YouTube doing its job. That's crazy, actually. Oh, politics. Always people talk about politics around here. This is how it is. I'm glad that YouTube's catching it though. At least it shouldn't be. It's not coming into the YouTube chat, is it? Or am I just mistaken about how this is showing? It's not coming up. Yeah, look at that. It's probably showing on screen because I'm streaming my screen and it has the chat on it. But good, YouTube's catching it. And the guy's leaving by himself. Didn't have to even go ban him. That's great. I love that. But anyway, character modifiers for Celestial Riders. We can probably just give like Archer Cavalry Pursuit, but I think we already gave a bonus for that from the Dynasty Legacy. We can give even more. Let's see why not. Do Archer Cavalry Pursuit. Dude, this guy's still here. That's funny. He's like, I'm gonna leave, and he's still here. Classic. Let's do a flat, like, bonus of 10. Plus, we can add another multiplier as well. Oh, I see. He's spamming. Here, we'll just hide that. There we go. Excellent. I love YouTube chat. I love YouTube chat. Archer Cavalry bonuses sounds pretty good. This is why I love you, Twitch chat. No one's here in Twitch chat, though, are they? I think no one's here on Twitch. No, there's some people around. Lots of lurkers. But yeah, this is why Twitch chat is based. They don't do stuff like this. Good for engagement? No, it's not good for engagement. It's too annoying. Yeah. Honestly, YouTube chat, it's Twitch chat just like staring over at YouTube chat, like what the hell is going on over there, honestly. Like a special men at arms culture or just bonuses to rating. Well, we already kind of have rating stuff from the Dynasty Legacy, so I think we just keep it to the MAA. Let's maybe give like step advantage. That'd be kind of nice. Oh, we wanted to do same heritage, right? The same heritage advantage. Yeah, this was what we wanted to do. So if you're fighting in Turkic territory, then you get bonuses. Please add becoming werewolf like in CK2. Dude, does the Turkic flavor mod have to include becoming a werewolf? That'd be funny. That'd be funny. I mean, maybe we can do that as a stretch goal or something. We're keeping it pretty grounded right now. We're not going too crazy on any particular... Like, we're not doing anything too insane right now. Keeping it pretty grounded. For province modifiers, add Gumbo Joe. I got to work on that Gumbo Joe mod, Terrakutsune, and then I kind of just lost interest in it after like a day because it was a funny meme. It was like a funny meme, and then I was like, yeah, I don't really want to like do this because it's gonna take too much work to do like one joke. But yeah, I do remember the special super secret wolf stuff for Turks, but it wasn't very secret because it happened all the time. It triggered so often. It was hilarious. Province modifiers. I'm from Syria. Hello. Marhaba from Canada. Or maybe, well, I don't know if you're Muslim, but maybe Salam Alaikum from Canada. But I don't want to assume. How far have we gotten? We're doing cultures right. Doing culture traditions right now. Cyclist MAA mod when? Oh my god, you memers. I think maybe this one just shouldn't get any province modifiers. This one is just a character modifier. And we wanted it to unlock a new MAA is the big thing. So in the parameters we're gonna have to do this real quick. So we have to make a new MAA. Here's how you do it basically is you add to the can recruits, you have to have the culture. So let's call this Celestial Riders. Or we'll call it GK _ Celestial Riders so we can... I guess we didn't do that with those up there actually, so never mind. We'll add Gokturk to the end though, just to be safe. Okay. Type is Archer Cavalry. Or should they be are they Archer Cavalry? What kind of unit are these? I guess they should be. Big fan of your channel, thank you. Glad to hear it. Glad you like the channel. Damage. We should make these pretty OP, shouldn't we? What's the idea behind these? What do they represent? Let's look at some Gokturk research real quick. Gokturk military. What's something we can base this off of? I don't know if there's going to be much information we can really find, but yeah, it's not really going to be. It's going to be hard to find just on this, but Encyclopedia Turkica. I can surely trust this, right? Okay, we're just reading. I'll read out loud at least, so it's not that boring. Overview. Although much of what is known about the military organization, weapons, and tactics of the Gokturk and the Uyghur indicates that they closely resemble those of other pastoral peoples of the Eurasian steppes, nonetheless, there are some features of these people. Interesting, the grammar is all fucked. Nonetheless, there are some features of these people's militaries that are unique. Gokturk. Contemporary historical sources almost always refer to cavalry and/or mounted archery in reference to Turkic military strength, and describe the use of typical tactics of the steppe, hit-and-run attacks to wear down the enemy, feigned retreats that were turned into an assault through drawing part of an enemy force away, made by the army, or led the pursuing force in ambush, and swarming whatever. Gokturk riders traveled with 3 or 4 extra mounts, letting them ride for long periods of few stops and flexibility, and were intended to reduce the enemy's strength to the point the cavalry was certain that it could close the destroyer. Their cavalry made up free tribes referred to as Erler, singular air, man, warrior. I like Erkek, I guess, right? That means man. Are these indicated the Gokturk armies were more complex? Okay, there are mentions of heavy armored cavalry units similar to the Sarmatian cataphracts. Units called wolves wore armor and were mounted on larger horses than the regular cavalry. Presumably the wolves formed the same function as cataphracts and later European mounted knights, acting as shock troops. The Tonyukuk inscription from the period of Second Gokturk describes the army as because you have 2/3 cavalry and 1/3 infantry. Users not providing further information as the ethnic composition of the infantry or the military organization. Okay. Basically, they just use cavalry. I don't know what to tell you. They just use cavalry, my dude. Yeah, that's very short paper. Wow. Okay. You get through one with Dru's faith. Maybe. The Druze sadly don't really have any cool mechanics. Otherwise, I would. They just like horses. I can't, like, I'm trying to think of a, like something unique to the Gokturks, but like, bro, they just use the very standard steppe nomad stuff. I guess the bigger horses. I don't know. Well, we don't have to overcomplicate it. It can just be a better lancer. We can just do that, right? It could just be that. I think it should be an archer cavalry though, because this, like, gives an elephant archers instead. Dude, so true. Killage wielding cavalry. Well, a killage is just a curved sword. That's just a scimitar essentially. Light horse unit that has pretty good pursuit. I want to do archer cavalry because the tradition itself is tied into archer cavalry, so it would feel weird if we didn't have an archer cavalry unit. Killage is Ottoman. Yeah, I know, but it's just a curved sword. Look, we can look up a killage if you want. It just means sword. First of all, this just means sword in Turkish. Okay, that's all that word means. But it's literally just it's just a curved sword. It's just a word that means sword in Turkish. Okay, it's just a, I don't know, like, it's not exactly, I guess the special feature is it has the very heavy ending on it. Like it's got a very thick blade is the idea. But it's literally just a scimitar essentially, or maybe a falchion. It has a sick name though. Killage is a sick name, I gotta say. -2 MAA on every type except cavalry MAA. That's pretty funny. Killage, yeah. Just means sword. I mean, we can honestly just do like a even better archer cavalry. Let's maybe do something. Let's do something comparable to a Keshig. Let's maybe do that. Let's look at the Keshigs. Maybe something similar to that. It is what it is. You know, if it has to be simple, it has to be simple. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Keshigs and do a comparable unit. The legacy for the horse archers literally just does, like, it just gives them more pursuit, I think. It's just even more pursuit and stuff. Yeah, literally. It gives max size and pursuit multiplication. Pursuit mult and max size is all it does. So it's not a big thing, but... Why don't you play Hoi 4? I did play Hoi 4 on my channel, but no one watched it because no one cares. That's the problem. Nobody wants to watch me play Hoi 4, I can tell you that. There are Hoi 4 videos on my channel, from relatively recently, in fact. This is the Keshig. I mean, yeah, we can just make a better Keshig. Right? Doesn't sound too terrible. Mentioned armored cavalry. It did mention that they were like cataphracts. Okay, we could do an inverse Keshig. Like a high toughness, high pursuit unit. Something like that. Like what if we do like 84 damage. Toughness can be like 105, some crazy amounts of toughness. And then pursuit can be like 20, a little bit lower, 21, but you get the buff from the culture. And then screen can be like 50, like a high defensive unit. That sounds good. So we can do like defensive horse archer special, I think. Cataphract archers make sense for them, yeah. That sounds good. Okay, for the terrain bonuses, I think we might just copy the Keshig terrain bonuses. Like for real, we might just totally copy these. Sure. Let's maybe modify the numbers a bit, so let's not have quite that much of a huge gain. Let's up the screen. Let's make it like a huge screen if you're on the steps. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Actually, you know what we can do? Instead of doing damage, we just replace it with toughness. These are just like unkillable. That's actually pretty funny. I like that a lot. Toughness and screen goes up. And then over here, we can take down through toughness. Yeah. I don't know why I put a space there. Yeah, wetlands are bad. So if you're using these on the steps, they just like don't die. It's pretty funny, I think. I don't know why I keep putting a space after that. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that checks us. This unit's gonna be terrible if it's not actually in the steps or anything. For the culture, let's go back over here. Let's add some archer cavalry toughness as well. So it's like we can have pursuit and toughness. Maybe actually, let's not even do pursuit because we already did that with the legacy. Let's instead just do like we can instead just do screen here, and we can do like toughness and screen. That sounds good. Archer cavalry. Toughness, malt. We can do like, you know, 0.2 as well. This kind of thing. That seems pretty good to me. Orkhan Turkic. No, it's the they would. I think Gokturks would have just spoken like a middle Turkic, whatever. Like I don't know. If I just looked up Middle Turkic, I think this is what they would have spoken. Maybe even before, they would have maybe spoken Old Turkic, actually. Shit, dude. Because this is from 900 to 1500, so this is like CK3 era Turkic. I guess they would have spoken an even older version. So maybe Old Turkic? Yeah, this is gonna be, this is what they spoke, is this. Yeah. Probably, anyway. Maybe not, actually. Fuck, dude. I don't know. What would be even before this they would have spoken? Like, maybe something even older? I don't know, but basically they would have just spoken some Turkic old language. Old Turkic, yeah. Alright, Gaul of Rome, enjoy the video. They speak Gokturk, I don't know, dude, based. It is Old Turkic. Yeah. Just, you know, something old, right? It's hard to put a name on languages like that because they're so old that they may have had particularities that were different from other tribes and stuff. There could have been a particular like Gokturk upper dialect, but we wouldn't know it. There's no way we'd be able to know it, so it's just Old Turkic, whatever, right? Best you can do. So I like this. Looks pretty good to me. We want to finish up this men-at-arms. We wanted to do the counters, right? So what does it counter? I think it should counter like other archer cavalry. I think that'd be kind of cool. In fact, I think it should counter all the cavalry. I think that's kind of a cool idea, is that it's like the ultimate killer, a cavalry killer. What other, I guess there's elephant cavalry, but let's not do that. That's kind of like a weird one for it to count. I guess Keshiks do it, so actually, sure. Maybe just a 1.0 though. Light cavalry, archer cavalry, heavy cavalry, elephant cavalry. Are there other kinds? There's camel cavalry, but those kind of are meant to counter regular cavalry, so let's maybe not do the camels. And I guess we can also do heavy footmen, but I don't know. Let's not do too much. So it counters other cavalry. It has high defense. That sounds good. And then we have to do can recruit, and that's going to just be like if you have the parameter. So it's going to be culture equals has cultural parameter equals unlock celestial riders MA. That should be all we need to do for that. What's the best way to learn a new language? Yeah, well, the best way is to immerse yourself in that language. So like throw yourself into that country or whatever and just learn the language through experience. But that's not always possible. So another good way is to just try to talk to people, talk to native speakers, and force yourself to communicate in their language whenever possible. That's the best you can do. That's basically the best you can do if you're not willing to move into the new country. What's the best way to get herd quickly? Unironically, intrigue, steal herd scheme, spam it. That's the best way. That's the fastest way to get herd, is to intrigue scheme. If you don't want to do intrigue scheme because it's a million clicks though, then you probably want to do tributaries. Just make everyone around you a tributary, and that'll get you herd pretty fast. Okay, again, recruit is done. The buy cost, we can just make it equivalent to Keshigs, I think. We'll just do Keshig buy cost. Yeah, we can just do that. That seems fine to me. Like, that's totally fine. Stack will be, I guess 50 stack is good. It'd be too OP if it was a 100 stack. Yeah. The icon, do we want to use the Keshig icon? Let's see. Are there any other good options? Tributaries better than vassals? For the purpose of getting stuff out of them, yes, tributaries are better than vassals. You take a larger portion with tributaries than vassals. You want a GFX, interface, icons. What are the good men-at-arms icons? Where would they even be listed? Map. Speed meta. Regiment types. There you go. Okay, these are the regiment types. What do the Keshigs even look like? Let's see. They get this. Let's not use that. Or, interesting, they have two symbols. One with an H, one without an H. That's curious. That looks pretty nice. You might take the Keshig. I love the torchbearer horse, how it's like scared looking at the torch. That's funny. Interesting, the Mangudai also looks scared. Cute. Let's take the. Let's just use the Keshig. Okay, it's already in there, so we're good. Okay, cool. That's our defensive horse archer. You unlock with this culture tradition. Seems good. Let's maybe add like raid speed. I mean, maybe we could do that, or we can do terrain advantage. Although we can do step advantage. We already did the same heritage, but we can also do step advantage. Is there one for step advantage? There should be. Like terrain, yeah, terrain type advantage, so we can do step advantage. Yeah, so if you're fighting in a county that's Turkic, with, like in a steppe county that's Turkic, you're gonna absolutely destroy anyone that you fight. It's good. I think that's a good idea. I think it's cool to have the idea that the Gokturks are like the completely dominant rulers of the steppes. I think is a cool idea. Like that's you completely dominate the steppes. No one can challenge you. I like the idea a lot. We'll do that. That's good. I think this is done. That's good to me. You just have to have you just have to have the for that. I also like the idea that you can get high prowess ignores night restrictions. I like that a lot. Fertility growth for Turkic rather than military. But we already did fertility growth with the hunters, so let's not do more than that. This already is like everything that's your culture, you get fertility growth. Because it texts the province, right? So I guess this should actually be in the county modifier. Hold on, that's my bad. This should be in the county modifier instead. Put it in there. Yeah, it's basically the same thing either way. No. Let me check that this actually does scope to counties. I think it scopes to any of them. Yeah, it scopes to character, province, or county. We'll put it in the county. That's fine. I have one more to do, which is the tributary one. I think I gave it a name earlier. Let me see. Tributaries. You planning on adding a new building when they change governments? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, do you mean like adding buildings to their like castles and stuff? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So this one was martial, right? And this one probably should be like, what color? This should be maybe like white, like learning. Good. And they convert to feudal clan or feudal from nomadic. Oh, right. We should maybe add an effect that turns the nomadic camps into castles. We'll look back at that, maybe. We'll look back at that, see how it goes. Going for playing tall. We already have that as part of this step development growth factor for hunters. We already kind of incorporated that. The tributaries are going to be fun to do, I think. We're going to take off all these other things. This is the hunters down here. Yeah, there's the tributaries. Take off all of this. This can stay. Get rid of these. Cool. So the immediate modifier I had in mind was tributary. Like for its field, they become Uyghurs, dude. Based. That's based. Tributary tax multi. Wanted to grab that. Want to slap a big modifier on this. Like a 0.5. I know that's kind of really big. That's actually too big. Let's go like 0.25. That 0.5 was a bit much. 0.25 tributary tax mult, so you get even more tributary stuff. Is there any other tributary opinion you wanted to also get? Yes. 0 points. Oh, it doesn't be 0. It can be a number. Let's go like plus 20 opinion for tributaries. So again, this is a little bit OP, but it's okay. It's part of what we're going for here with like the reward for making the culture. Now there's our parameters. We might want to get help with the loyal subjects one. So you guys know the loyal subjects parameter? Where is it? I think it's part of realm. Well, we can take loyal trait more valued, and that's a good idea. We can take that. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Over here, okay. We can take that. That's nice to have. But then I wanted the loyal trait more valued. Okay. Put these. Worrying about these is fine. I wanted maybe it's part of ritual or maybe society. I think it might be part of societal. Let's see. Whatever these are, we're going to take this, because I don't actually know what these are. But we'll take them. Is this the one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, this is the one that I'm thinking of, actually, where they're more loyal, or whatever. Yeah, let's take this then as well. Remember, this makes them more loyal subjects. So it's interesting how, like, the loyal subjects tradition is weird because it makes you a more loyal subject. It doesn't make your subjects more loyal. I think that's more of a ruling caste thing. Do we want to check ruling caste? Let's take this, yeah, let's take this instead, maybe. That. But I like that they're more loyal, and that's good. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of an even differenter one, though. Let's try looking for... here. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything I could be getting that'd be cool. Hardening gives loyalty. We might actually want that. Yeah, let's take that. That's really OP, but I kind of like it. Here, I know a culture that starts the game with this. I think the don't the Afghans start with loyal subjects or whatever? they do. No, the Syriacs do, right? So yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of. Loyal Soldiers is the one that Syriacs start with. This is the one where they're more loyal. Okay. I think Mongolic used to have it, apparently. Or Oirat used to, I see. No, Andalusians has the culture blending one. It's not the one I'm thinking of. It's fun. This is good, though. Pardoning gives loyalty. Peasants factions are less likely. You can get the yurt bonus. Nomadic loyal soldiers, low trait more valued. That sounds pretty good. Okay. The tributary stuff. I think that's good. And honestly, again, we're not going to over-complexify this. That's good enough. I like what this gives to begin with. Like, I think there's no reason to make this more complicated. Make this diplomacy. Instead of Wolves the Deep Step, we can get something else. Maybe like the... What would be a good picture we could use? Icons. There's my culture. Isn't there one with like a guy with money? And there's conversation, which maybe is okay. There's greeting, which could be okay, but it's kind of lame. Jirga's alright. The quill could work. Maybe state ransoming makes the most sense. That one probably makes the most sense. We'll take that one. There you go. So that way it's like them giving money, right? Okay. Cool. And those are our 3 traditions. That's based. Now we have our culture. Good. All that works for culture based. Close all this crap. And now we have to do the scripted effect, I think. Right, so we have to do the actual culture conversion. I believe there's a scripted effect in the game already for when you do culture conversion. Let's check that. I think that that's already a scripted effect that we can just use to convert culture reasonably. Let's see. That's a little bit too much. How about let's do convert. I might find this what we're looking for in here. Okay, here. This is the effect I'm looking for. Convert player realm, yeah. This is pretty much what I'm looking for, yeah. Okay, cool. So what we do is we go like this, we take this, and then we can add in the, I think we add in the parameters, like, I think it's pretty easy to do. I think we go to decisions, we can find it in decisions to find an example. But this should be like a thing we can just basically use to more or less make it very easy to make this happen. Maybe it's an event, not in here. Maybe an event thing. There you go, okay. Yeah, see, we do this. We add old culture equals new culture equals. Yeah, okay, cool. So old culture. You have to put the money signs? No. Old culture equals root.culture. Simple. New culture equals, I think we have to do, yeah. It should be culture, colon, and it's going to be Gokturk, which I believe is the name of my culture, right? That's what I named it. Yes, so we do that. I believe that will work exactly how I want it to work. This is going to basically do everything for me. If we look over exactly what that scripted effect does, it's going to take all the vassals and add them to the list. Yeah, that makes sense. Every quarter add them to the list. It's going to flip me, and then it's probably going to, like... I think it doesn't check if they like me or not, so it just flips them, basically. That's fine. And it also flips all the old culture to the new culture. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, okay. I believe that'll work just fine. We also probably want to take innovations, right? So maybe we want to do also add root.culture. You can save the scope. Old Turkic culture. We want to add innovations because what's going to happen is the Gokturk culture, because it exists at the start of the game, is going to have no innovations basically. And the way what I want this to do is just take every innovation that you already have and put it into the Gokturk culture. Let's see if there's an easy way. There might also be a relatively easy way to do that, but we'll see. Oh, we should check this in scripted effects. Might be in there somewhere. Let's see. Get all innovations. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, that's that. There's literally an effect for it. Okay, great. In that case, then, we're going to do culture, Gokturk. Get all innovations from or old Turkic culture. There you go. So that way you get all of your innovations, so you don't have to worry about losing all that stuff. Does it also push the era forward? It should, right? Because I think that the innovations, like one of the innovations, is the era itself. That should just work how I want it to. Good. I think that's it. That's all it has to be. Does you ever feel like something is suspiciously too easy, and then you think you need to make it more complex, but actually it's probably fine? Right now it feels like this isn't complex enough, but like it's literally exactly what I want it to be. Like it's pretty much perfect. Here. But yeah, that should be it. I'm gonna do a real quick CK3 Tiger and see if it works. Probably should add a prestige cost to this, but we're gonna see if any issues pop up right away. And this is because we have to define this. We have some issues, it looks like. What do we have? Just that one? We'll do that in a second. This is because the CK Tiger is not updated. This is because CK Tiger is not updated. Yeah, so remember, some of these are going to be because the syntax checker isn't updated. So, you know, it is what it is. Again, these are just not updated. Or did I? Hold on, it was supposed to be like this. I think in this case, this actually might be a real problem. Might want brackets for that, because there's a multiple in the list. Fine. Going up here. Yeah, again, that's... we can't fix. This should fix this. Yeah, it looks good. Interesting, it doesn't like the name list. Yeah, okay. How do you do multiple name lists? I forget if I'm just doing this wrong or not. I think there must be an example where there's a name list with multiple name lists. Let's see, in cultures, there must be an example where they do multiple name lists. I think of a culture that would have multiple. Just clicking around here. Damn, they do. They just make every single one have its own list. I know there's at least one culture that has multiple name lists. It must be out there. We also check the info file. That might also be smart. Hold hold on, there's an explanation here. Maybe there is actually no example in the current game. That'd kind of suck. In which case, we can just use Turkish names, to be fair. Or we can make our own names. It's not that big of a deal to have to make our own names. Close everything we have open right now. Let's keep stuff open. Jesus Christ, I had a million things open. Bootser might? We can check that. Nope, they just have their own name list. Yeah, okay. Put my own name for the memes? No. That's fine. I just want to see an example of how to do it, but I think, funnily enough, I might have a way to check it, and that's we can look at a mod. There's always, we can always look at, maybe there's some mods out there to do this. Like, we could, but also at the same time, it's no big deal. Let's just maybe keep only the Turkish name list. No, we can do this. We can do this. Maybe it's... It wouldn't be a comma. Oh, dude. You ever just, like... You just want to see an example of something and you can't get an example? Because I know you can put multiple name lists at once. First of all, let's check this again. I made some changes. These aren't updated yet, so that's why it's fine. Fine. Yeah, see, it marks this as a thing. Or is it literally just, do we just do like name list equals and we just do it multiple times? Is that what we do? Let's try this real quick. I'm just gonna fetch an egg, name list. I think it might be like this is how you do it. You have to just enter them all manually. And we're gonna quickly just comment this out for a second. Just see if this won't spit out any errors for having multiple. I think this might be actually how you have to do it. In which case, a little bit annoying to have to copy them all over, but it's okay. Right, okay, I think that's how you do it. Okay, okay, great. Well, we can do that then. That's okay. We have Pecheneg and Cumin down. This is going to take a second to do, but it's okay. Let's do this a couple times. Hold on, let's just give me a couple of... Oh, you have to do... Here. Like this. Okay, there you go. And now we can just go through and copy them in. It's gonna be a little bit annoying. The first one is the most important one because that one actually... That one determines like how naming goes. So we're gonna keep Oghuz because it's kind of like the most based one. Got him. Turkish refers to the Oghuz culture in the game files, by the way. But Turkish first, so we'll keep that as the first list. Go. A little bit annoying to have to do this, but it's no big deal. I should really put the equals. It's okay. Here, real quick. There you go, okay. Arlook is next. I keep on copying when I should be cutting, but it is what it is. It's a small thing. Kimek. Nice, that's pretty cool, Vexvev, or Vexev. That's pretty cool, actually. That's a cool idea to just have like a single duchy kingdom in Iceland. It's also probably relatively easy to do, I would guess. Difficult to have pulled that off. In which case, nice first project. It's always nice to be able to actually complete a project. Because sometimes modding can get really, really tiring, and it's like, oh god, there's so much to do, and then you never get around to doing it. I find that's why I like to stream making my mods, because I feel pressured to actually complete my project when I have a stream of it, because I'm like, well, I don't want to just abandon this, right? That being said, I did abandon my After the End sub mod, which was being streamed, but that was just, I just got tired of that one. There you go. So we did it. That's fixed now. Now we have all the Turkic lists. We have all the Turkic name lists together in one. It's good. Okay. and it should use the first one as the priority for the stuff like the patronyms. So it'll give Olu through Turkish, and it won't be the weird ones from these ones. Cool. Traditions should just be modifiers that can't actually be changed. This one is weird. Diplomacy is not right, so let's quickly go look at background. It's diplo, not diplomacy. Diplo. There you go. Make Crimea a kingdom with Gothic culture. Maybe we could do that as like a Germanics on the steppes kind of mod. That could be kind of fun. Really cool. That's done. I think that's done then. The decision is done. Oh, we need to do the valid, right? So what's the requirements to become? So obviously, as title equals E underscore, so you have to have the title. What else do you want to do? You want to just make this simple to do? Maybe. Right? Like, is that kind of, is that chill? I don't know if you want to put many requirements to it. Level of fame? Yeah, sure. Okay, sure. We can do level of fame. So, prestige level greater than or equal to. Let's go like 4. So you don't have to be level 5. Level 5 is the living legend. Level 4 is the like exalted among men or whatever. I forget what it's called, but the second to the highest one. And again, it's only shown if you're Turkic, so that's already taken care of. I guess, to be fair, I don't have to... We'll keep this as a requirement so it shows up in the list. Again, let's also keep the requirements for being valid. They have to be Turkic, because I think that way it kind of... It shows you in the decision that if you take off one of these, then you can't do it anymore. Let's add a cost, maybe. Let's just do like a maybe 5,000 prestige cost. Simple, right? Very, very prestigious. Do this. Which one? Yeah, we have that. Has title. That equals Gokturk Empire. That's the one that you get for clicking this button up here. And we should do a decision, right? So we already have the decision. I think I just wanted it to be... I literally just wanted it to be, like, flavor, right? Yeah, just flavor. Okay. Again, this is because things are updated, so it's fine. Is there a scripted effect, maybe, for, like, when you change off of nomadic? Let's see. Let me try typing in nomadic, or let's do nomadic underscore government. We can find with that. Not this. This is the pseudo merchant. Yeah. I'm gonna playtest the mod. Maybe. I don't know if we're not gonna get to that today. We can maybe playtest what we have right now and then check we can do, because our last task, now that we've done this, is going to be getting the 2 to 3 legends, but we still want to do a couple more Gokturk Empire things. We were thinking about doing... This is complete. This is complete. We wanted to do the fancy dynasty modifier. Right. Do we still want to do that? I don't know. So I think we're gonna get rid of the China interactions. I don't really want to do that. I think we're gonna maybe get rid of the runestone thing, because it's kind of just like whatever. And we get a Tengri one, because this was you want to reform Tengri, just do it yourself, right? So good morning. How are you doing? My cat's here. And my partner too. Just the cat. Hey cat. He's kinda hanging out on the couch right now. How was your sleep? Yes, it is different Tom Holland. It's not the Tom Holland. Here, I should chat. One of my friends got me this book for my birthday a couple weeks ago. It's the Histories by Herodotus, and it's translated by Tom Holland, but not Spider-Man. A different Tom Holland, presumably a scholar of some kind.
It was like, talking about historian.
Yeah, Peter Jackson, the story. Yeah, they're very different. How's the cat doing? You showing? Oh, she's coming over? That's good. We got her a little, like, window bed. So now she can, like, hang out and look out the window while she's sleeping. Yeah, you did. She's really cute. Alright, I'm gaming. Well, I'm actually not gaming, I'm working on a mod. Okay. We did this already. We can get rid of these now. We already handled this. If the cat comes over, I'll put her on camera, but right now she's kind of hanging out with my partner. Right, we're having trouble with the cell men-at-arms interaction. I'll look at that later. We definitely should start writing down, like, known issues. We probably should put that here. So right now, the MAA interaction is not working, which is something I set up off-stream, so we'll focus on that. For this. We wanted to do... Remember we had an idea for a CB, where you can convert culture on the step to the Gokturk culture? Maybe we scrap that too. Maybe you might scrap that as well. We want to keep this though. I think we do want to keep this. We can just give a cool modifier. I don't know though. You know what? I'm feeling kind of like let's not go too far, right? Like we have the culture, we have the cool unite the languages, we have the cool men-at-arms, and it's like okay, let's just let that be, right? I did know that, Eduardo. You mentioned it in another stream. You mentioned it. But I feel like, okay, we wanted the Gokturk Empire to be the end goal, but I almost feel like I want another end goal. But then it's like, well, it's a little bit too much. Let's reduce this maybe to like, instead of being 60, let's make this like 40. Make this a little bit less of a super end game thing. And then you can have these be the end game decisions, is the uniting the languages and getting the culture. Yeah, let's actually... Yeah, I think that let's do it that way. So the culture itself can maybe be sort of the end game. Let's make this about like 80. You have to have 80 to make the culture, then you have to have 100 to get to unite the languages, and if you have just 40, you can make the empire. So you make the empire, then your next goals are to unite the languages and to get the culture. Okay. That makes sense to me. And that's like the final goal, is to get the culture. Once you get the culture, you can kind of do whatever you want with it, I guess. And then you just get creative and do what you want to do. I like that. I like that because it's like not too ambitious, and I know it's like it's good. Feels like it's relatively good and simple. So this is the current known issue that we have, is this. We're gonna do legends next, I guess. A couple legends, but maybe we even want to end it there. We could play test this now, and then we could do the legends after. But I kind of do like doing legends, so let's do those. These are not complete, so we can get rid of all this. Let's get rid of all the stuff up here. I think all of this is we're kind of done with all this. Because we were thinking about doing a lot of really complicated stuff, and we just went with this. This was kind of what we decided on, right? We got the legacy. This is now complete. Now we gotta do the legends. So how long am I streaming today? I forgot. Let me check my Discord real quick. How long am I streaming today? Till 2. Okay. So right now it's 12:49. We got about an hour. An hour to do some legends. Okay, cool. Is there anything in here that's being triggered that isn't just like, you know, basic stuff I can fix easily? And this is because things are updated. Fates, this should be all just pictures. We'll work on icons later. It's all just things that aren't implemented in the current checker yet. Okay. Here matters. Here matters. This was like weird where the game's own thing doesn't work properly, but it's fine. Yeah. It's really weird how like everything's getting flagged as being wrong, but it's like literally like this is the base game stuff. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're good then. I hate that there's all these red and yellow. Like I want to fix it, but then it's like whatever. It's legend about inheriting Attila the Hun's legacy. There kind of already is one, isn't there? There's like a base game legend about Attila. Let's plan out the legends then. Let's see what. So we want to do 2 or 3. Let's try to do 3 if we can. Okay. Let's do 3 legends. Okay. Each one can kind of be themed about something, about like some famous figures. So first of all, there should be one probably for founding the Gokturk Empire. To be a legend. Maybe something to do with we could do another like something related to Attila. Probably something related to the Ashina. Something so Ashina clan legend. Something to do with that maybe. And then give me some Gokturk lore. There's so much to like. It's so much to read through. Ergenekon legend? Who is Ergenekon? Oh my god, okay, I don't know about this one, boys. I don't know about this one. Okay. Don't know about that one. Isn't the Ashina clan Japanese? You been playing Sekiro? I think that's only a Sekiro thing. Oh, okay, is that an actual legend? Okay, hold on. Okay, I see. It's for something real. Okay, God. I was like, wait a minute. A founding myth. Okay. Could do something tied to this she-wolf. It is tied to the Gokturk Foundation myth, so it kind of makes sense. The Japanese Ashina did exist IRL too. Oh, I didn't know that. Good to know. I was just thinking in Sekiro they have the Ashina. The Ashina is like the name of the clan that you're fighting against or whatever. Something to do. So Ashina clan legends. This is something like a, you know, legitimacy. Tie yourself to Gokturk, like the Gokturk lineage, right? That kind of thing. Find the Empire should be a legend itself. This is sort of like your sort of kinda like, I was gonna say heroic legend, but it's not supposed to be heroic legend. It's like the, you know, make your own founding myth kind of thing, right? And then for the third one, this can be like tying your like in reference to the this wolf. Cooking the first kebab, dude. True. Making yogurt legend. No, Jay. Just like founding the Gokturk Empire. That can be good. What can this one be? This one can be about like, not. I don't think it should be trying to claim that you are like the descendant of that wolf, because we already have one for claiming. You already have one for claiming like this one for descending from the Gokturks. Excuse me. Hmm. I don't know what would make this about. Like, what would it give you? What would be the idea behind the rewards? What it's about? Let's read. I mean, there's not really much to read about this legend, unfortunately. I like how it talks about like the wolf nurses the boy back to health, and then it just kind of skips over the part where the wolf is now pregnant. Like, okay. Curious. Should it be a holy legend? I guess we could make it. I guess it could be holy for Tengri or something, right? Like a Tengri holy legend. Like these are like the archetypes, right? It's like the archetype of, like, you know, this is your legitimizing archetype, and then you have your heroic archetype and your holy archetype, right? That's like the idea. But we're gonna do more unique than this for sure. Give us wolf son, wolf daughter trait that passes down. Could this be the werewolf? Could this be werewolf unlock? Someone was asking for me to make a werewolf. Legacy of Ergonekon. Yeah, that sounds good. We could put that in. Could this be it? Is this how you become a werewolf? Do we go completely off the wall, insane? I don't know, that's a little bit crazy. That's a little bit too crazy. Well, regardless, let's sort of talk about each of these particular things. It could be werewolf, but it's just a different version of cannibal. Yeah, it's werewolf, but it's literally just cannibalism. That's pretty funny. Werewolf unlock, but it's just cannibalism. It's literally just makes you a cannibal. That would be really funny, I think. Astronaut legend. That's more Chinese than that's the Chinese thing than the Turkish thing. Makes CK2 into CK3 because why not? I feel like the CK3 devs want CK3 to be more grounded in real life, so I think we should keep it grounded. I like the idea that it's about like becoming a wolf, and at the end of the legend is you fucking eat somebody, and that's like the end. But it's just you're just a cannibal now, and that's that. And we can maybe add, maybe what it could be if we want to go really hard. Okay, it's that when you complete here. Let me write this down before I forget about it. Let's talk about Legacy of Ergenekon. Okay. Completes. Okay, become cannibal. Okay, add cannibal as a virtuous trait to your faith. I don't know how easy that's gonna be. I don't know how that might be tough to do, to add a virtuous trait to a religion. I'm not sure if that's easy or not to do, but this is a really funny idea. Okay, so it's like we're not actually gonna implement werewolves. Okay, we're not actually gonna do like, yes, you become a werewolf. Okay. But you become a cannibal and you think you're a werewolf. All right, I think that's funnier. But you make cannibal virtuous, which is like maybe even a little bit offensive. Like I think that this could even be considered offensive, but I don't really care. I just wanted something that's funny. Okay, so become a cannibal. Okay, and lunatic probably, and lunatic, because you got to be crazy to do some shit like this. Add cannibal as a virtuous trait to your faith. The problem is, I think cannibal will always be a crime trait, though. We check in the trait list. Like, I think cannibal is a crime to, like, literally every religion or something. Damn, reduces rationality based. Okay, there is a legal parameter, so we should be able to modify this in faiths, right? So if we check our faiths, we should be able to modify that so we can make it a legal parameter and make the parameter legal instead. We just search it in here. Yeah, so we see, this is the problem, is that this parameter, right? Yeah, there is a decision like that Christians get to pardon cannibalism. You're right. You're right. We need to check that. Hold on. Check that decision. How do they do it in the decision? Because we can look into how they do it there. Thank you for bringing that up. That's good. Okay. Accept cannibalism decision. What is the effect? Okay, it triggers an event. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is it. Here it is. Accept cannibalism decision effect. This is probably going to be in scripted effects, is what I would guess. This would go so hard, dude. Oh, just a variable. Oh, dude, it's literally just a variable. Okay, that's easy. I didn't realize you just set the variable and that's it. So, yeah, that's very easy to do then. Okay, I gotta use the washroom real quick. I know I've been using the washroom like 3 times today, but I gotta pee a lot. I don't know why. I'm drinking too much water, I guess. I'll be back.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Sayudza just traded with 49 viewers.
Hold on, I'm back. I'm back. Oh my goodness, Sayuza with the raid. Oh no, good timing. Good time. We're just making some mods, people. Hello, how are we doing? I did just go to the restroom. Yes, that's true. How are we doing today? Thanks for the raid, Sayuza. What was he up to today? Tell me, chat. What was Sayuza doing today? What was he doing? Explain yourselves to me. I'm gonna copy in probably the text from this, so I can not forget it. By the way, just copy this in right here. Yeah, that's nice. Just keep that in there so I don't forget it. To become a cannibal and lunatic, add cannibal with virtuous trait to your faith, and make it legal. That's good. Did Sayuza already leave? Is it too late now? Because I was gone. That sucks. Oh well. So you become a cannibal and lunatic, add cannibal's virtuous trait. Now there should be some smaller things too. It can't just be the big thing. So beyond that, maybe we can get a. We can maybe get like a. Hold on, let's go down here. We can get a dynasty modifier that increases. I don't know, like Gokturk opinion. You know, the problem with these opinion increase modifiers is that if you ever diverge your culture or hybridize your culture, then it's not going to apply to that new culture anymore. It's kind of like, you know, like it sucks that you're kind of losing that, so maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe we do just keep it simple. Maybe we'd make it like, how about this? Okay, let me make my life a little bit easy. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this is a basic holy legend, but at max level, you get the special cannibal interaction. I think that's good. So it's just a regular holy legend, and then you get the special cannibal thing. Is like that's the only real difference, I guess you could say. A special cannibal thing at the end. Previous long message. Let me know what you think. Hold on, you gotta find it. You hear? What did you say? You go hunting for the mother wolf, and you have the option to kill her, take her head as trophy, or like a major helper plus the cannibal feature. You could find her. It's interesting. We could add a... Well, we could do something like that, maybe. We'd have to make it into, like, a decision that you click to go on a hunt, and the hunt is for the special wolf, but that sounds really complicated. I think that maybe I could do it, but I want to get this mod done this week. Remember that I've given myself the time limit of this week, so, like, it needs to be done pretty quickly, so I don't think I can do that. I like the idea that we make this a relatively normal holy legend, and then at the max level, you get the special cannibal stuff. Or it can be like an alternative. How about it's like, it's an alternative option during the legend end event. You know, like when it pops up on the big pop-up on screen, like the huge events, and it's a full screen thing, and it's got the guy with the scepter looking at the wall. And normally you just have one click, like one option, and it's just like, yeah, okay, legend's done, cool. Let's add like another option where I forgot to put something in the fridge. Wait 1 second. Where we choose the cannibal thing. Particularly against those who go hunt the mother wolf. Yeah, it feels a little bit weird to do. Hunting doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. What I think it should be tied into, so like lore-wise, right? Lore-wise, I think it should be that when you finish the legend, okay. I don't know what you'd call it, but like you get really high on whatever like Tengrist shamans use to get high. And in your intoxication, let's say, you eat someone. So we have to. So who should it be? Eat someone. Scope to random courtier. Maybe, right? that we eat. As a werewolf, you're just insane, and a cannibal, not actually a werewolf, right? Like this is kind of what I have in mind for like this is what the lore is, right? Eat your rival. Maybe we can have it particular heavy weight towards rivals. I don't know, because we can add weight to who it's going to scope to, right? But this is the idea, is like, you know, you're getting, I don't know what Turks use, like what the traditional, like, you know, every religious group, they have whatever their like getting high drug is. You eat Chinese. Oh my goodness. No, I don't know about that. I don't know what, like, let me look up like angry shamans. Like what do they use to get high? You know what I'm saying? Drink a bunch of kumis, I guess, or whatever. Intoxicant? No, okay. Let's do ritual. It's all the spear ritual. Yeah, that doesn't work. I don't know, maybe we could do research to find that out later, but mushrooms? Yeah, maybe it's just mushrooms, sure. You eat a mushroom. Magic shrooms, yeah. So like magic mushroom. You know, something like that, right? Maybe that kind of thing. Doesn't really matter. We just have to sort of vaguely gesture at like something that gets you high, right? In a stance, in a trance, right? In your what's called a trance instead of an intoxication. In your trance, right? Super Mario mushrooms, dude. True. It's a good. I love this idea, but it's gonna be very fun to implement. See how my video's doing, by the way. I want to see how people are watching it or not. Oh, 5 out of 10. I'll take that. Yes. Doing pretty good. You take those. Yeah. This is what I have in terms of the lore, right? Yeah. This is good. And then in terms of like to distinguish it from regular holy legends, obviously there's the cannibal aspect, but also like we can maybe have some, I don't know, you get like, but also you can get some, actually no, but it's okay. We can just leave it at that, I think. It can have the one distinguishing factor. So basically, don't waste it. Don't waste it on. Don't finish the legend. It would be a shame to finish this legend not at max level, because otherwise you waste it. I think that should be good. Or we could have it be like maybe level 1 equals 25% chance to get the cannibal outcome. Level 2 is 50%, and level 3 is 100%. We could do it like that too, right? So you can take a gamble if you want. That could also be a thing that we do. Maybe that's the best compromise, so we don't overcomplicate it, but it still is worthwhile to finish them at lower levels, because you're just taking a chance. It's still your choice at the event screen, though. So like, it's not like you it's not like you're forced to become a cannibal at level 3. It's that you have, this is the chance that the alternative clickable option pops up, is what I mean. Okay. Good. Let's do the next legend. So that's one legend. We can do the Found of the Gokturk Empire one. This one is probably going to be pretty simple. Do we want to just do a basic, like, legitimizing legend? So, relatively basic legitimizing. Oh, this was supposed to be a heroic legend, right? Heroic legend. Maybe, its effects help spread the culture around your empire. Maybe that's what we do with it. Is that it just like the level that you completed at increases, so each legend level increases how much of your realm culture converts. I like that idea. So it's just like you're just increasing your culture conversion. Okay. Pretty basic, but I like it. Yeah, I think let's not overly complexify it. Okay. And then there's the Ashina clan one. A Turkish guy made an engine to spin kebabs. Of course. Now they don't have to really explain the lore on this, I think that's fine. Clan legend. Relatively basic legitimizing legend. Yeah, it should be fine. How can we differentiate it? Let me read about the Ashina a little bit. What do we know about them? Sorry, I saw etymology and I had to read what it is. We read about this earlier. Remember, we were reading about that before. Nice. Yo, a Canadian scholar. Ju Yup Lee, probably Korean, I would guess from that name. Cool. Not really getting too much out of this that I want to necessarily go for. I feel like there's so little information about these guys. It sucks. I don't want to just do another spreading the culture. It could just be more like culture spreading. That could be fine. But, because it could just be like basic legitimizing legend plus culture spreading. Nothing wrong with that. Like, do we have to be complicated? Maybe just a dynasty modifier. Again, it doesn't have to be complicated, right? It could just be like distinguished. Like, each legend level gives a increasingly powerful dynasty modifier. What would it do? You get a special coat of arms, maybe a minor artifact. Interesting, a coat of arms change is an interesting idea. What would it change to? Is the question. Would it change to whatever this symbol? this little character? The Tamga of the Ashina clan? It's an interesting idea. It'd be cool for roleplay. I like the idea of the artifact. We could give them like maybe a special, like we could reference the Tamga, right? Because I've heard of these before. This is like the brand that they put on the animals. They were great blacksmiths. I did see about that in the Asena legend that we're reading. It could just be like a powerful dice modifier, max level also gives a unique artifact. And I think it could be just like the Tamga, like they just like a little press. The Ashina Tamga brand. So like I think that would be pretty cool actually. It's pretty simple, but I don't know what it would do. I don't know what the artifact does yet. But this little brand, right? Because this is important to Turkic people. Oh my god, they became high-strung nationalistic imagery. Of course they did. This is the Kai Tamga. This is the Ottoman one. Or what would later become the Ottomans. Well, just one part. Well, the thing is, we're giving it. It's the. Oh, you mean the artifact? Yeah. Well, the artifact we'll probably figure out later. That's something we'll handle later on. Right now, I just want the concept of the legend, right? Okay, I think this is good. Let's keep it simple, right? Okay. I'm starting to run out of brain energy, is why I'm going kind of slow here. So we might actually end the stream a little bit early because I'm kind of running out of brain energy. We did a lot today. We did quite a bit of progress today. I'm really proud of. I like this idea of the legends. It's all complete. We can at least copy down the sort of the files for legends. We can do that real quick. Let's close all these. Close stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, let's close this. We'll keep these up because we're gonna look at this later. Now let's go do the file directories for legends. I've done legends before, so I know a bit about how to mod them at least, which is nice. We want to do legends. So it's first legends. And then within legends, I think there's like legend types. Legend types. Okay, and there's also chronicles. We have to do chronicles. Good. And there's legend seeds. The legend seeds is for like the ones that you start the game with. We're not gonna use these. We're gonna custom make these legends when at the time that they get made. I remember this. This is a legend about being Prester John when you're playing as a Nestorian. Pretty cool in the steppes. I mean, it's pretty cool. Sorry, I got an email. I'm just looking at it. You're gonna write the legend? Yes, I will write it, of course. Okay, this guy said ancestor flag magi. This felt very weird to type out. Yes, this is always legends have always been like this. They're weird to type out. Yeah, okay, it's fine. We're not going to use legend seeds because we're just going to be doing our own legends. So we're not going to have to make a one that like exists at game start or anything. I don't know why I'm closing these logs. Possible to implement a Mamluk system. I know it's a bit unrealistic. Maybe eventually. Like what we're gonna do is we're gonna make at least we're gonna make a playable version of this mod this week. That's my time limit. Is this week we have to be ready with a playable version, and then later on I might add more to the mod. But like for now we're trying to just sort of complete what we had in mind from the beginning. But anyway, the legend types. I think we can just do like one text thing. Yeah, they're all composed. They're all in one text file. Legend types we can add. DK underscore legend types.txt. It's good. For chronicles, I think the chronicles are a little more complicated. No, they're not. They're also just simple. Okay. Good. I think that's all I need. So what we're going to do is, for each of these... So the way that legends work, the type more or less determines everything about the legend itself. So if you look in here, you see there's 3 types of legend. There's heroic, there's legitimizing, and there's pious or holy, whatever, right? And this determines everything about the legend. Determines what it does, determines like what the effects are, determines like how you get it, all that kind of stuff. So what we're gonna do is rather that we're gonna have to make all 3 of our current legends into their own type so that they can have unique effects. Because if we look at the on complete effects, see it's the impact is the on complete. This is determined by the type. So if we want there to be any different outcomes than the basic like standard outcomes, we have to make a whole new legend type. So we're gonna have to do that. So let's start. I want to start with the werewolf one because it's the most fun one. So we're gonna call this one like Gokturk underscore wolf legend type. We'll give it a proper localization later. And we're gonna base it off of most of the holy legends starting conditions. Grab all this. I'm gonna grab every part of it and just drop it in to here. There you go. And we'll kind of remove all of the stuff in the middle. So most of this is gonna stay the same. We're gonna not really get rid of most of this. So like for example, when you start it, you gain piety. Like okay, sure. Marks of Legend is done. That's fine, right? That's okay. This kind of thing is like okay, cool. We can get a holy site. We can get these are like for localization purposes. We're not gonna worry about these. This is mostly stuff we're not gonna have to worry about. On province spread, yeah, this is good. This is good. There's like notifications and stuff. All good. Val protagonist has to be 16 or older. I'm gonna say Val protagonist also has to be Turkic heritage. Let's say that. Gotta be a Turk to be a protagonist for this. Don't worry about this. The AI's we're probably not even gonna have to worry about that because the AI's never gonna do this legend. This can all stay the same. Fine. So then we get to the actual impact. This is the stuff that actually matters. What is your goal with this mod? Is the flavor anything specific? It's specifically we're going for the Gokturk flavor. So we're making a Gokturk restoration mod. We did a Dynasty Legacy about the Gokturks. We have the end goal of forming the Gokturk Empire, which we've already done that now, and now we're just doing legends about tribes and stuff, but like the ancient lore of the Gokturks. That's what we're particularly focusing on. The province modifier, I mean, opinion added control is fine, I guess. Goat Turd Empire, damn, okay. Alt end goal? Well, I mean, you can always just like not form the Gokturk Empire and go somewhere else, but I'm keeping the scope pretty small. Because I'm worried that I'm gonna bite off more than I can eat, more than I can take, you know. Also, what's up, feedback? Casually have like feedback in the chat. Love that. Province model. I'm trying to think. Do we want to change this? I keep on going back and forth, and if I want to change like this stuff too much, because when I did my accumulated legend mod, those that remember the accumulated, I'll show you what the accumulated legend mod legends looked like, because those were really complicated. But that was because that whole mod was about legends, right? Like, of course it was. Let's see, accumulated legends. We go in here. This is my other mod. There's the impact, right? So if you go down to the full impact of the Darius legend, you see that there's a lot going on here in terms of all these custom tooltips and all these rewards. So it's like, I don't think I want to do this much complicated stuff. Same with the immortal section as well, was also pretty complicated. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to do all that. What's your favorite planet / moon in the solar system? I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. What did the Zoroaster one do? I'm reflecting on my old work now. Look at me. I'm like a boomer. Yeah, this is old stuff now. This is my first ever mod. I was pretty proud of it, to be honest. So I think we should do something a little bit unique, maybe. Let's go something a little bit unique. Isn't it Earth? Yeah, true. Earth is pretty good. Earth is a pretty good pick. We can't really reasonably add a province mod. I guess we could do fertility. That actually makes the most sense, doesn't it? Let's do fertility. Yeah, okay. Also, I closed my logs. I don't know why I did that. Logs back. There you go. I don't know why I closed my logs. Let's do fertility. As in, county fertility. Yeah. How much would you want to add? I think we should probably do a mult, not a straight add, right? Usually the mult is, yeah, the mult is usually better to work with in terms of not messing up the numbers and ruining the game. We could just add flat fertility, but nah. Let's do like 0.15. That's actually the 0.1 for the lowest tier. And control growth is fine, sure. Piety for the owner, maybe with prowess. Do prowess, sure. For promoters, they can also get some. Basically the same stuff, I guess. But a little bit less of it. Yeah. Okay. And the stuff we're going to keep as normal. So this, we want the relatively normal Holy Legend effects. But then we're going to also... I guess we have to change the event. Is what we have to do most of our work in. Add a new event. New event file. Legend. See. Okay, good. Save this. BOM, of course. Okay. And we'll make this the complete the Wolf Legend 1. Good, okay. So for the first one, it's only a small chance that, so we're gonna do immediates, or I guess we need to do like all the, we may actually open up my old legend event quick. Because I want to look at how I did the events here, because it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, the full screen windows we're going for, so it's like this. Full screen, then we just change these to proper name. Okay, cool. This means that it gives you the full like legend event, where you have like the big display across the whole screen, and then I think I also want to use the background, yeah, theme legend, and we can have the background be the legitimizing legend, or we should do probably the holy one. I think I have that somewhere in here. I think maybe I use legitimizing for all of them, actually. Random event. Yeah, I think I just... Oh, there it is, Holy Legend. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. Good. Immediate. Random. This is for year 1 completion. I think we just, was it chance equals 25? I forgot how to do random. Just check that. This should be somewhere in the event files. Yeah, there's lots of random. Okay, it's okay, but it's random. Okay, I need I need it to be match the whole word. Yeah. Nope, not yes. You motherfucker. No. You get a lot fewer things. So random, then you just put chance, and then the effect. Okay, got it. Okay. That's a 25% chance, and the... What we want to do is, we just want to basically add like a variable. But we can do it as like a flag. Yeah, sure, let's do it as a flag. Can be werewolf. Put that on the... Okay. And then basically, if you have that option, add a final bracket. So this is just the basic resolve option. Then we have the more epic one where you get to become a werewolf. Looks intimidating. It's a bit intimidating, but I mean, you learn pretty fast, to be honest. The trigger for this has character flag, can be werewolf. Okay, and then remove character flag. So we'll take off this flag right away. Character can be werewolf, just so that you don't keep it afterwards. These are different poses for the thumbnails. Do you for the characters? Yeah, usually they do different poses. I may try to vary it up, right, for the characters and the thumbnails. Okay. Then for this option, we actually already copied in the code because we're smart. I decided to copy it in here so we have it ready to go. So what happens is your faith becomes accepting of cannibalism. Lol. You gain the trait cannibal. We should probably make this a scripted effect, shouldn't we? That's fine. Add trait cannibal. We should also add a dynasty. So what I'm thinking is now, okay, you get the trait cannibal. What about your heirs, right? They're not going to be cannibals. And because you don't have a faith that has the cannibal tenet, you're not going to be able to eat people, you know? So because of that, we need to add a way to become a cannibal for probably this faith. But I don't know how we can do that. We could do it through a special doctrine, maybe. Also, hello. Salamlar. Turks in chat. Turk Varma. Maybe only the family can do this and everyone else can't. We also want to add this as a holy trait for the faith, right? So how do we do holy traits? Where are those defined exactly? Maybe there's an effect for it. Maybe check logs. There might be an effect for adding a virtuous trait. Let's see. What am I even? I don't know why this is confusing. Wait, no, go over here. There. Maybe not. Why is this thing so tiny? My search bar is so tiny. There you go. Okay, no virtue. What about faith? That's not gonna work very well. Maybe we can't make it a holy trait in the faith. That might be asking for a little too much. Let me look at how that's sort of done in the files. Look for virtue. Yeah, is there a way we can add to this list? The effect of the ritual cannibalism tenet? Well, we could just... okay, yeah, we can look at that. But I think that how that's going to work is that we look at ritual cannibalism. It's that as part of the tenet, it has the trait in it. So this is part of the tenet. So it's like we'd have to change We have to change a tenet on the faith. The easy way would be if we take the root faith and we just take off a random tenet and add in like ritual cannibalism. But I don't want to do that. I want to find a way to do it like differently, but I think it might not really be possible. Yeah, it's part of the actual tenet itself. Maybe it's like we don't have to necessarily make it a virtuous trade, I guess. Might be asking for too much. We can at least make it legal. So this is kind of already good enough, I think, is that now you can be a cannibal and it's not illegal anymore. So that's kind of already pretty good, you know? That's not bad, right? Maybe we don't have to do any more than that. I want to add a dynasty modifier. Let's do root.dynasty. Dynasty modifier. I want it to be like cannibals. Cannibal dynasty. And I want it to just unlock a decision that you can click to become a cannibal at any time. That's all I want it to be. So this just unlocks a decision to become a cannibal at any time. There you go. That's all it is. That way you can keep the cannibalism going throughout the rest of your dynasty, not just lose it after one character, right? I think that would be cool. Okay. Let's go make that modifier real quick. This is part of a dynasty. That's fine. That was called Cannibal Dynasty. This will have basically no effect. It's going to give it the flame positive. Sure. Or we can give it the food one, right? Isn't there a food one? That'd be cool. I believe there's a food one. Back to CK3. There we go. Your face, icons. There what should be I think there's a food one. I was thinking this one, right? But no, we can do food positive. There you go. Great. We can maybe give it like, okay, just to give it a little flavor, we do like, we give it a description. We check how you do descriptions for modifiers. I think it's just description, but yeah, just description, so that's all it is. Maybe not though? This is for like the scales. These are all for scales, yeah, maybe it's actually not just description. Well, if you can't add a description, I know you can though. You can add descriptions. Maybe it's just like part of the localization. You can just cannibal_dynasty description. Let's check the localization files real quick. Let's take any one of these random modifiers and just look for they have a description maybe. Try finding this in the localization files. I just want to make sure I get this right because I don't want to mess it up. It's gonna take a long time to search through all this, I think. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, okay, it just takes the key and adds description to it. Okay, never mind, we're good then. So we can just, don't forget to add cannibal dynasty description to localization. Okay, that's no problem then. And we can give it like, maybe like one martial. One martial, one prowess, because you're like eating people. Maybe just the prowess, actually, not the martial. Two prowess for everyone in the dynasty, and then you can unlock a decision, a very simple decision that just gives you the cannibal trait. Go and look at that real quick. Should probably be part of a new file. Okay. So we're gonna take this one. It's pretty small. I'm gonna call this that. For is shown, we just have to have dynasty as dynasty modifier. Cannibal dynasty is valid always. We can just do always equals yes, or it should be, and also not as straight cannibal. Okay, good. Is valid always equals yes. You can always do this, but it only shows if you're not a cannibal. Cost is nothing. Effect add trait cannibal. There you go. Simple as that. That's all. That's it. Nothing complex about that. That way, your family can always become cannibals after you do this legend. Let's do is landed equals yes. Yeah, then they will do it. Yes, because I don't want the landless. I don't want the landless characters to be doing this, right? Imagine if you're like, you know, well, maybe one adventure. Well, actually, you know what we should do? Always equals yes. Then this should only be shown if should do available adults. Let's do that. It should only be shown if you have, let's say, at least a county or an adventuring camp. Does being landed, does being an adventurer count as being landed for the purpose of triggers? Well, it's a county or barony, so no, it has to be that. Okay. Oh, okay, we can do landless ruler. Yeah, okay. Okay, we can do that then. Yeah. Either you're landed or you're a landless ruler, but this way you're courtiers. You're not gonna have like every single one of your family members becoming a cannibal. Just in case you don't want that. Yeah, that's fine. Like, that should be okay. This way only like adventurers, nomads, and actually landed people will take this decision, or will be able to, and otherwise that's always yes. No cost, yeah, it's valid, yes. Get rid of the always equals yes then. And then it shows up if you have the modifier and if you're not already accountable. Okay. Good. I like that. Sort of that little tangent there, just like one little thing. We want to make sure that we can keep the cannibalism around. Now, who do we want to eat? The question is, who are we eating? So immediately we should probably scope to some character. So let's do like random. We just do like random courtier, the Pope? No, I don't know about that. We could have it just be whoever your priest is, your rival. I think it should be whoever the priest is, because they're the one like guiding you through this, right? So shouldn't it just be like your... But you don't have a priest as a nomad, is the problem. You have a cruel tie. So then I guess it could be either a random counselor. Let's do a random counselor, if we can maybe do that. Least opinion courtier? No, I want it to be the counselor, because they're there to like aid you, right? So it's like, you know... Can it be random counselor? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that exists? Let's try. Let me find it. Yeah, random counselor. Okay, great. I like this idea. Is it 2 L's or 1 L? It's 2 L's. Okay. We're gonna save it as the unfortunate victim. So if you have your family on the council, you might eat them. So let's do fortunate victim equals. We have to do scope. We'll have to do scope. Equals death. How do we do death effect again? I always forget how death works. I will find it eventually. There it is. This is the death one. Death equals killer. So this should just be. I think I did. I don't think I gave a scope to myself. So let's do that. Just be the legendary werewolf. This could be the scope, sure. That's the killer, and then the death reason should be eating. Eat him. Death underscore reason. So we should find a list of death reasons. We can probably find it in character interactions for when you eat somebody. That'd be easy. So if we look at execution, we can look at character interactions, execution. It's all in here. Okay, cool. Really, it's not in there. Okay, I thought it would have been. How about if we do execute and we find it's probably gonna like do a scripted thing or something. Goodness. Just get me to the top of whatever this is. What interaction even is this? Execute prisoner interaction. Okay. This is all like for the AI to determine if they're gonna execute someone or not. Is shown. Give me the on accept. Okay. Dude, there's so much writing here. Sack, like human sacrifice. I get that. Boil their skull. Okay. Okay, this is not a good way to find this. Just give me the list of death reasons. There must be a list of them. Maybe if we look at the events, there will be an example. There's probably at least one event where you eat somebody alive, right? It's chariots, burned, murder, vanished, hanged. Poison. Sacrifice to the gods. Nice. There must be one for eating someone. Defenestration's funny. Glad that's in the game. Let me scroll this up a little bit so we can see more. That's better. That makes my eyes hurt less trying to look. Consumed by earthquake, not quite consumed. Ritually eaten. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. Yes. Yes, ritually eaten. That sounds good. Or do you want it to be ritual, or can we get like a regular eaten? Does that exist? Maybe there's a regular eating. I think the ritual eating is fine though. Yeah, okay, let's not push our luck. Ritually eaten will be the death reason. There we go. Yeah, we eat a counselor. That's cool. I like that. Eat the counselor. And that's should be good. So for the faith, we accept cannibalism. We add the cannibal trait to the character. The dynasty is allowed to become cannibals whenever they want to. It's good. We eat the guy, and that's the end. And this option will only be available if you have the werewolf flag, which you have a 20% chance of doing at this level of event. Okay. I suppose I put this in the Chronicles section. Supposed to be in the Legend type section. It's my bad. Wasn't there. My bad. Easy fix, but you know, still. Okay, this is going. This is all good, right? Yeah, okay, looks good. Is there anything else you want to add here to the ending effect? I think no. And that's it. Okay, for now though, I have 4 minutes till I have to go, so we're gonna end the stream now. But this is sort of what we're on the last steps of finishing up this. We can delete this now. We're on the last bit of work for this legend. We're just doing for this mod. We have 2 or 3 legends to do. We'll do 3, I guess. So for this, 3 legends to do. We're working on this one. Should be pretty easy to finish off. Then we'll be done, and we should be able to do playtesting later. Let me turn off display capture real quick, and let me show you the schedule for this week so you can see when the other streams are coming. Get that open. Hold on. There you go. So today we're working on the mod. It's finished at 2 p.m. It's 1:57 right now, so in 3 minutes we're done. Tomorrow we're just doing some basic playing. We're going to do nomads into India. We're going to do like Hindustan kind of thing. We'll see what we do with it. I don't have a particularly strong idea of what it's going to be, but we're going to go nomads into India. And then Wednesday we're going to finish the mod. I hope we're going to be able to finish it on Wednesday. We should be able to, especially because we'll have an extra hour of time compared to today. So should be able to, but you never know, I guess, right? Might get wrecked. Then on Thursday, Penguin into North Sea Empire. It was asked for. It will happen. Friday, Variety Gaming. If you want to suggest a game for Variety Friday, I guess I'll start calling it that. It's Variety Friday. That's really hard to say. If you want to suggest a game for that, get into my Discord. Start pinging me. I'm okay with being pinged. So go to do that. On Saturday, I want to play around with the Saharan nomads. I've only ever played in the steppes with nomads, so I want to see how it is to play with the like the other steppe peoples, like the Saharans and the East Africans and the Sapmi. I want to see what they're like. And finally, for Sunday, we'll do like an Ireland into the steppes playthrough, because that could be kind of fun. Irish actually starts with pastoralists. They're surprisingly well suited to the steppes. But either way, I'm gonna find someone to raid real quick on Twitch. Who's out there? So I raided us earlier, so we were sending his viewers somewhere else too. Who's around? Julie's around. That's pretty much it. No one else I really want to raid today is around. Okay. We can raid Julie. She's playing Drop Duchy, which I've been playing a ton of, by the way. A very solid game. Mute this ad right away. An absolutely solid game, Drop Duchy. I've been playing it a ton. So how about we what do you call it? Send a raid over here. Do it. I don't think she streams on YouTube. For the YouTube viewers, if you want to join the raid, come into the Twitch stream. Go into the description. You can see the Twitch stream in there. Come and join. You can join us in the raid. Otherwise, I'll see the YouTube viewers later. I'll hang out in Twitch chat with Julie for a bit and then probably go and have lunch because I'm getting hungry. I'm getting quite hungry. For now, I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you for watching with the modding. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all next time. As in tomorrow at 8 a.m. EST. Peace out.